everyone. Have a seat, please. Good morning. Oh. Oh, I just love seeing all of our young leaders. You know, when I look out at all of you, I know and I feel so strongly the future of our country is bright. It is bright because of all of you. And I want to thank Lauren for her kind words and her commitment to your community, Lauren, and for the example you are setting. It is so good to see all of you. So, well, you know what? So let me start with just what has happened actually yesterday before I begin my other comments about the horrific shooting yesterday in Madison, Wisconsin. Of course, it's another school shooting, another community being torn about and torn apart by gun violence. And of course, our nation mourns for those who were killed, and we pray for the recovery of those who were injured and for the entire community. But look, as we hold our loved ones close this holiday season, we as a nation must renew our commitment to end the horror of gun violence, both mass shootings and everyday gun violence that touches so many communities in our nation. We must end it, and we must be committed to have the courage to know that solutions are in hand. So with that, I will return to the reason we are here today. And I first want to thank all of the incredible leaders who are with us, including Governor Moore, my dear friend, your extraordinary Lieutenant Governor Miller, and someone I have worked with and known for so many years, your Senator-elect, also Brooks. And to all the young leaders who are here, I thank you for your service to the people of Maryland. Because look, each one of you has decided to dedicate yourself to the work of service, the work of lifting up the condition of other people, people who often you may never meet. The work you do in service will affect people who, for the most part, will never know your names. But their lives, because of your work and your dedication, will forever be touched in a positive way. You know, I do believe that public service is a noble calling. It is noble work. And it is an expression of optimism, which is you know and believe, and it is being verified to each of you every day, that the work you do that can lift people up has effect. It matters. Your work is about the optimism that comes with knowing that one individual can make a difference in the lives of so many people. And God knows when you have a whole group like this doing it together, the impact you have on our nation and by extension the world. So today I came by to express my gratitude for the work you, like so many across our nation, have been doing to lift up our fellow American. And I am here to reaffirm our shared commitment to the work ahead. You know, over the past several weeks, since the election, I have received tens of thousands of letters from people across our nation, many of them young leaders. Americans from every walk of life, people of every age, race, faith, and political party. These letters share a common theme. Yes, there is disappointment, but there is also resolve for the future. One letter in particular stands out, which I'll share with you. A young woman named Sasha writes, quote, "There is nothing in the world that will take away my drive, energy, passion, and the destiny that I have to help the people of our country." And I think any one of you, as Sasha, could be, right? Nothing's going to take away that drive, that passion, that energy, that commitment. So Sasha, like all of you, inspire me. Young people who are rightly impatient for change. I love that about you. Impatient for change. Who will not let anyone or any circumstance defeat your spirit or your sense of purpose. You will not allow your spirit or your sense of purpose to be defeated. You who have, I think, by your actions adopted some advice my mother gave me a long time ago. She would say to me, "Kamala, don't just complain about what is wrong. Do something about it. Make it right." That's a life you all are living. You reflect the best of the America I have seen, be it during the campaign, during my 4 years as vice president, and throughout my life. An America where we recognize that we are all in this together, that no matter our background, we share the same dreams, aspirations, and ambitions for ourselves and our family. That we all have so much more in common than what separates us. That is our knowledge. An America where we are guided by the ideals that have always defined us when we are at our best. Dignity and decency, fairness, freedom, and opportunity for all. An America where we recognize that the true measure of the strength of a leader is not based on who you beat down, it's based on who you lift up. And the story of America's progress, you all know history. The story of America's progress, when we have made progress, in many ways is the story of people who stayed true to their ideals, even in the face of difficulty. The story of Americans who, yes, faced disappointment, but did not grow weary. Did not grow weary. who faced setbacks but did not give up. People who refused to let the light of America's promise dim or burn out in moments of challenge. The movements for civil rights, women's rights, workers' rights, the United States of America itself would never have come to be if people had given up their cause after a court case or a battle or an election did not go their way. What Sasha wrote and what we here know is that in moments like this, the true test of our character is how resilient and persistent we are to pursue the future that we all can see. The true test of our commitment is whether, in the face of an obstacle, do we throw up our hands or do we roll up our sleeves? And as we approach, and as we then approach the end of this year, many people have come up to me telling me they feel tired, maybe even resigned. Folks who have said to me that they're not sure whether they have the strength, much less the desire, to stay in the fight. But let me be very clear. No one can walk away. No one can walk away. We must stay in the fight. Every one of us, including the fight for an economy that works not just for those at the top, but for working people, for all Americans. The fight to make sure everyone has a fair shot to pursue their ambitions. The fight for our ideals, including the equality among us, the freedoms to which we are entitled, the dignity that we possess and is possessed by every one of us. So we must stay in the fight, because that is the responsibility, in my opinion, that comes with the privilege of being an American. And that responsibility has always then fueled the American experiment. In our country, you see, the recognition that we are all created equal with certain fundamental rights and freedoms, the belief that here in our country anything is possible, the promise of America itself is a powerful yet fragile idea. Powerful because it has inspired billions of people and made it possible for us to become the strongest, most prosperous nation in the world. Yet fragile, because that idea is only as strong as our willingness to fight for it. Only as strong as our faith that we, the people, are the ones who make it real. So I will say this as we close out this year. I ask of you this, that those here and anyone watching, that you will not walk away, that you will stay true to your spirit and your sense of purpose, that you will continue to fight for the promise of America. And I ask you to remember the context in which you exist. Yeah, I did that. I ask you to remember that this struggle is not new. It goes back nearly 250 years to Lexington and Concord. Generation after generation, it has been driven by those who love our country, cherish its ideals, and refuse to sit passive while our ideals are under assault. And now this fight to keep the light of America's promise and to ensure it burns bright, well, this fight now, it continues with you. You are its heirs. We are its heirs. So I'll end with this. Get some rest over the holidays. Spend time with the people you love. You know, I believe family comes in many forms. There's family by blood and there's family by love. I urge you, then after you have had some rest, in fact, I challenge you to come back ready to chart our path to the future. Chin up, shoulders back, forever impatient for change, and like Sasha, ready to summon your drive, your energy, your passion to help our fellow Americans and be ready to get back to work, fighting for opportunity and freedom, fighting for fairness and dignity, and fighting for this country we love and the future we share. God bless you, and God bless the United States of America.